Hello, 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 and welcome to Beauty Pioneers. How is everybody doing? As y'all, Dawn got me laughing, honey. Dawn is looking for her glasses, and in the meantime, while we was waiting to go live, I was checking out her clothes. I was like, I need to go shopping. That hat is everything. How is everybody doing today? I am your beauty hair consultant. Hold on, let me go and put them. Let me see what I got to hit because y'all know I like to put my cheers on or whatever that is. Shall I be doing? Hold on. I am your beauty consultant or hair consultant, Coach Lee Hill. All right. And then we have the lovely Dawn, beauty expert Dawn Ferguson, fashion, beauty, makeup, hair. Woo! Now, last week we was tapping into the fashion and things like that. This week we are really tapping into some of the issues that Dawn and I have been like talking about amongst our people, right? Our Black women, especially. And I was thinking about something. I may do look into that because I'm like, y'all know how we be having all kind of hair issues. I kind of noticed like you don't really hear that with men, and I'm sure they have it. I'm not saying that they don't because I did went and look up like dermatitis and stuff, and they do have it. But I think that they do a much better job taking care of their scalp because they wash their hair a lot. I just thought about that because I was like, why we have more issues than the men? You ever thought about that, Don?
Oh,
Did you find them? All right,
why we
y'all.
have,
Huh?
why we have,
Oh, she done found her guy. Don, you
girl,
so cute. Your
I had to
little
find my
self.
glass.
You found them?
I
That's it,
did.
right?
I still
Okay.
can't see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I was just saying, I was like, we notice all the time that women be having issues with the scalp and all these different things, but you don't really hear men be complaining. And I know that they be dealing with it, right? But the only thing I can come up with is that because men, you know what I noticed? Men will go to the doctor. They have noticed the bumps on the back of their head and stuff like that. They will go to the doctor. Like they'll go to a dermatologist and be like, "What's this?" They'll go to the hairstylist first, and then they'll do that. And I was like, I wish women was more into that and they wash their hair more. Yeah, so I don't know. It was just something that came about. But I'm about to pop this first video. How was your weekend? How was your vacation?
My vacation was absolutely refreshing.
You look very rejuvenated, very, refreshed, lightweight.
Yeah. Why,
And
thank you.
can I bust the
Everything is
bubble?
so blurry.
It's blurry. You might need to clean
Yeah.
them. Can I bust everybody bubble and tell them where you was all this time?
Huh?
Can I bust everybody bubble? Or you still are we keeping that private? Because we private now.
Oh, no. You mean,
I like
oh, yeah,
that.
I'm back now.
So all those times we was doing our lives, Dawn was actually in Jamaica. Welcome to Jamaica. Hello, hello. I think how long you was there for like 6 weeks
A
or something?
month.
A month? It seemed
Yeah.
longer.
It seemed longer.
Yes. What was your favorite food that you ate? Because I know, what's your favorite food
My
to eat there?
favorite food, of course, is fish. I
Oh
love
yeah.
the escabeche fish, the way they make it.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's my favorite thing with
That
them.
Me too. I could say the escovitch, and I could say they patties and they the bread that
Hmm. The cocoa bread.
cocoa bread. Yeah, that's my thing. Cocoa bread.
Yeah.
So that's my thing. But definitely the escovitch. I used to be big on the oxtails, but that red meat it just do
Hmm.
something. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm glad Dawn is back, even though it wasn't like she left anyway, because she still was showing up All right. She wasn't like me when I was traveling, child. I can't make it. I said, we got to stop this. We got to do better. I got to do better. Okay, hold on. All right, so let's go ahead and start it off.
And personally, for me, if I paid attention to these signs and symptoms, I could have saved myself a lot of hair loss. When it comes to CCCA, scarring alopecia, for most of us, we don't go to bed with a head full of hair and then boom, wake up the next day, Mr. Clean, smooth, shiny, bald head. That does not happen for most of us. The signs will be there. And in many cases, the signs will be there long before we actually decide to go and get that official diagnosis. Not trying to freak anyone out, but again, taking action early on can make a huge difference. So if you notice any of these signs and symptoms, it doesn't hurt to just go and talk to a dermatologist or a trichologist and get a professional opinion. The first symptom that I started noticing was very dry and brittle hair in the center of my scalp. I will wash my hair, do the deep condition, do the hot oil treatments, all that. And within a day, my hair would feel like a Brillo pad. It was just abnormally dry. The second thing that I noticed was very tender scalp. It almost hurt to touch my scalp. In the center, it was very red, very inflamed. That was the second thing that I noticed. And when I noticed that, I was like, okay, something's not right, but I still put it off for a little bit. The next thing that I noticed was very itchy scalp. I never had the urge to scratch my head as much as I did in the early stages of my hair loss journey. It just itched really bad, uncontrollably. And the last thing that I noticed was abnormal shedding. At some points, there was more hair in my hand than there was on top of my head. So I just knew something was wrong. I could gently tug on one strand of hair and it would just completely fall out. So I noticed these things and I kind of let them ride for a little bit longer than I should have before going to seek help. But eventually I went and talked to someone, and yes, I was diagnosed with CCCA, scarring alopecia.
Woo! All right. So, yeah, that's what we want to. It's not just CCCA, but I remember, and Don, I want you to bring up what we were talking about earlier about the braids thing. Okay. I remember on my dad's side, the family has breast cancer. And I remember speaking to my grandma, who was a 2-time cancer survivor. And she always said early detection is the best detection, right? We've heard that so many times. And I remember the other day I was looking at something about hair loss and different things like that. And every time I read at the end of the situation, whether it was dermatitis, whether, it was black dot alopecia we was talking about earlier, anything, any of those, it's so many different reasons, right? That the one thing that stood out the most was every time they were like early detection, even down to, and people don't believe it, don't really believe this, even down to androgenic alopecia, female or male pattern baldness. So if you have, let's say your family has a history of female pattern baldness, right? And you start seeing signs of it. If you respond to it immediately, the trichologist, dermatologist can get ahead of that, and they can do certain treatments to your scalp that will push more of the anagen stage instead of the telogen stage. Remember, the anagen stage is more of where your hair is growing, so it'll keep that phase going longer, and then it'll slow down the telogen stage, because what it actually means is that when you hear androgenic female pattern baldness or male pattern baldness, that means that your hair follicles are closing up, miniaturizing. All right. So I wanted Dawn, because she said something real powerful today. And one last thing before Dawn take it. This is a part of self-love. Self-love is not a new outfit only, and going shopping, going to the spa, getting your hair done. That is not the only thing considered self-love. Taking care of yourself health-wise is part of self-love. So we have to talk about this. So Don, go ahead. I just wanted to bring that out.
What are we talking about? Hair loss? What part do you want me to say?
You were talking earlier and you were saying how you can tell, like, how women go and get braids for a month or so or 6 weeks or whatever. And that because it's convenient and they don't want to be bothered with their hair.
Yes.
Remember that? Okay.
The reason we have to think about when we go in and we ask for these particular hairstyles, what are we actually saying when we say, well, give me a hairstyle that's gonna last 30 days, 6 months, or I'm going on vacation and or I'm going on summer break and I need a hairstyle that's going to carry me through the summer. There's no such thing. And when we select these type of hairstyles, this is what causes the problems that we have and that we're seeing now in the industry, the
Right.
massive hair loss. We go in and we find a braider. When we say I want a style that's gonna last 3 months or last a while, that's saying I'm on a budget. That's what you're saying. And if you're on a budget, you shouldn't be wearing braids. You shouldn't be putting extensions in your hair because those things require upkeep. You should be wearing your hair natural. Find a style that works for you. Right. And you'd be like, oh my God, my hair is so horrible. Your hair is not horrible. If you trim it, if you shape it, if you seek a proper consultation instead of a quick fix. A lot of times, we can't find great hairstylists are hard to find, but we end up selecting these styles that further damage our hair and destroy our beauty because we leave it in entirely too long. Okay, something be like, I need it to last 2 weeks. Okay, then 2 weeks hit and you're like, okay, let me ride it out for another 2 more weeks because I can't really get my hair done with this paycheck, so I have to get it done with my next paycheck. And so that particular 2-week hairstyle ends up being a month-long hairstyle, and no one should be getting their hair done once a month. It's just ridiculous. Like when I hear people say things like that, give me a style that lasts a month, you just be like, there's no style that's going to last you a month. You know what I'm saying? You should be doing your own natural hair every day. It's it's a daily thing. It's not a monthly thing. It's not like, okay, now my roots are growing out. It's time to get my hair done. No.
You know what, Don?
Maybe like when I got this much new growth, that now it's time, for me to have my hair done. Your hair should be done on a daily basis. It's a part of your hygienic routine. It's just like brushing your teeth. You know what I'm saying? Even with my locks, I have to twist my locks down. I have to twist the roots. I have to get the little fuzz ball off. If I'm going somewhere, I need to, I prefer my hair flat in the top, so I have to have a scarf on and, put it on. I don't use gels because gels carry 90% alcohol. So we are putting these things in our hair that's constantly destroying our scalp. There's no way for you to clean that debris off your scalp. So you're walking around with this unhealthy scalp, which is inflamed. And this is why all this inflammation is happening underneath the scalp and destroying your scalp because the products, right? 90% alcohol. And we already know if you're on a budget, you're not choosing expensive hair, right? So you're getting hair that's inexpensive, which is 99 cents, which is Kakalon, which is plastic, it's synthetic.
Fibers.
When it melts, it's like it is literally plastic that you're putting in your hair. So it's destroying your hair. Okay. So when I see people that say, well, I want a style that's going to last me a month, each time you take their hair out, their hair is destroyed. Like literally destroyed. Like it's like
weak, it's
glob,
brittle, it breaks.
globs of shedding. They haven't shampooed their hair. It's like a product buildup, in the hair. It is completely matted like glue, right? So because you're just adding products on the hair daily to get you through, and it's just damaging your hair. I don't understand. It's hard for me to understand why. Like, it's like you just bend your head
You
over
know
in the
what?
sink and you just like wash it out.
I can tell you a few things, and this is the reason for this video, Don.
Mm-hmm.
One is a lot of women, Black women, don't want to learn about their hair. They hate when I say that, but I always say you don't learn about your hair. So then you'll learn about the weave, you'll learn about the braid, you'll learn about all of that, but you don't take the time out to learn your hair. So then you put these extensions or whatever in your hair, and then you know leave it in there, and then when you take it out, you say, "Oh, my hair is terrible." But you don't know anything about your hair. You just constantly from one situation to another situation. Like Don said, in the midst of you going to these different situations, guess what? That hair is weakening, that hair is breaking. And let me tell you something. Healthy hair starts with the healthy scalp, which is your skin. So a lot of you, the first thing is you don't even want to wash it. So I don't want to take it to where I don't want anyone to feel shameful, right?
Right.
We don't want that. But what we're trying to do is make you understand how important just the simple things are. Now, the other reason I was telling Don this, why I am really going hard on us learning about our hair and all the issues that we may have is because a lot of times, a lot of you don't pay attention to this, and I'm going to do a video in a moment. You have signs. Your hair and your skin is telling you signs. And instead of you saying, you know what, it could be you're thinking like, oh, I had this new product and it's breaking me out, or oh, child, that's some let me see, that's oh, I'm allergic to that. I think I'm allergic to that. So you just like self-diagnose yourself, or you go online and you type in, why is my scalp itchy like this, and then you'll read something, you say, okay, that's what it is. But you don't know. And a lot of time, and because of just those very basic things, going to see a trichologist, going to see a licensed cosmetologist, understands your hair and can say, hey, something's going on, and recommend you go to a dermatologist. And I don't understand why you don't, because it could be something more serious. Okay. And so that is what I'm saying. The title is Hair Care is Just Not Enough. Deep conditioning the hair. All these deep conditioning the hair when you take the weave down, or I get a deep conditioner every 2 weeks and I get it braided down and I put my wig on, which is a good alternative. However, if your scalp is showing you signs, even though you're doing the regimen and you're still experiencing issues, then that means the hair care part is not enough. Now you got to go a step further. And so that is what Don and I are trying to explain to you. So, and then on top of it, what Don was when she was talking about the fact that you guys are putting alcohols and gels and straight in the spritz and all these different things, and the wax sticks and all these different things, and you're sleeking that hair back, or you're doing a quick weave or whatever. So imagine your skin, because the scalp is your skin. Imagine all the things that Don just talked about that you guys put on the hair part, right? Or let me take that back. I see the hairstylists that put some oil, drop the oils on there and roll it in there. And then they put that, they go ahead and start gluing your hair down. They put the paper over it, then they put the stocking cap over it, then they put the paper down. What do you think the oil is going to do? Do you really think that the oil is some magic oil and it's going to keep your hair moisturized for those 6 to 8 weeks that you keep that style in? And then when you take it down and you try to wear it out for those 2 to 3 days, or until you get paid, where you pull it back in a ponytail, or you may get it flat iron and you're like, look, my natural hair. And then you put it right back in a week later. You think that the oil is the thing that saved it all the way to that point? You see what I'm saying, guys? So I need you guys to understand, you ladies to understand this. This is a serious thing, and it affects our community. It affects our community. Let me go ahead. Let me see. I want to make sure I don't put the wrong one. Is it this one? Hold on, is it this one? Wait, she was wearing. Oh, here you go.
As BOK women, make sure y'all are taking y'all health serious. So remember I was telling y'all that I had these little rashes, my hair been falling out, and just like I just been breaking out in hives. So I have been to a total of 3 different dermatologists. Mind you, these were white tea dermatologists, and I'm not saying that they're all bad, but they just wasn't doing what they were supposed to be doing. They kept brushing me off and just giving me like steroids, creams and stuff. So mind you, they kept saying that it was ringworms, it was dermatitis, and then they kept saying like it was eczema. So mind you, I kept having like these discoloration spots that kept popping up on my body. They would get huge and then they would just disappear. So something in me told me like, let me see if I can get some blood work done. I kept telling my primary care doctor this and she just kept brushing me off. She kept saying, oh, it's not nothing. So I'm like, my hair is falling out. Why is my hair falling out? So I took it upon myself to come out of my pocket to go pay to go to a BOK dermatologist office. And when I say for the first time, I feel hurt. I feel like somebody actually took the time out to listen to my problems. So when she was doing she was examining me, she was just like looking at my spot cells on my body and she was like, those don't look like eczema. She's like, that's not eczema. Like I could look at it right now and tell you that is not eczema. So then she was like, let me see your scalp. So she's going through my hair, looking at my scalp, and she was like, that's not seborrheic dermatitis or whatever they were saying it was. Because they had originally said that it was eczema, so they gave me ketoconazole. Ketoconazole did absolutely nothing for my scalp. All it did was make my hair fall out even more. So not only that, she said that they have been seeing an uprise of BOK women who have been coming into the office with bald spots in the middle of their hair. And she said it's been like more frequently that a lot of BOK women are starting to lose their hair in the middle. So I'm like, could it be from stress or something? She was like, no, this is an internal thing that's going on. So she was like, you know what? We're going to do a biopsy on you. That's something that should have been done. And then she was like, we're also going to do some blood work. She was like, have your primary care did blood work on you? And I kept telling her, I'm like, they just don't want to do it. They don't feel like I'm that important. They feel like I'm making this shit up. So they don't feel like it's necessary to do blood work on me. So she was like, you know what? We're going to do all of that for you. And when I say for the first time I felt heard I ain't never felt heard, but they made me feel like I was being heard. So now the next step is for me to go ahead and to see what is going on. So I'm about to show y'all my little bald spot and how my hair has been doing since I shaved it. So as you guys can see, the hair did kind of grow back, but this bald spot is really taking a toll on me. And I feel so unattractive. I feel so discouraged, but I feel happy that I feel hurt. But y'all, this is what the middle of my hair has been looking like. But I just really want to say, y'all, don't let nobody play in your face. If you feel like something is wrong with you, please get a second or third opinion. Because people could just tell you it's something, and in reality, it could be way worse, or it could be something totally different than what they said it is.
So, and this is what we was talking about. A lot of you are experiencing this. And I liked this video because I know a lot of you are experiencing this. The key point that I wanted to make, because I know everybody traction alopecia, CCA, okay. But the real issue is some of you may be experiencing some form of signs, spots on the skin, different things like that, like that young lady. But guess what? It might be something more serious. There are women that have some. I knew a girl many years ago that her scalp would be white, right? And when she stood in the sun, it would burn her scalp, like she would be in pain. And I was like, huh? And eventually, it was like 2-3 years. And remember what we said at the beginning. As soon as you see signs, you need to go look further. Don't go looking for no oil on TikTok. Don't go looking for over in the black section at CVS or whatever. Go and see a licensed cosmetologist that's educated and understand scalp disorders, right? A trichologist and a dermatologist. And it sounds like I'm racist when I tell you to go see someone that looks like you, but I'm not. If you notice in that girl, she said she went to 3 dermatologists. And the reason why they didn't do blood work or anything, which that's one of the top things that they should do, is a biopsy, a culture, or blood work. When they just but they just threw something at her. You know why? Because typically when they don't look like us and they don't have the education about our hair, they automatically say, CCA, stop using chemical products. Stop, using protective hairstyles. That's too much tightening on your head. That's what they put you in. They put you in a box. But if you have self-love and you care about yourself enough, you're going to do like that young lady did, say, something is wrong. Well, that young lady that I told you about many years ago, it was that she had lupus. Those were the signs of lupus. And then she had the butterfly in the face. So a lot of you see that, but I don't know if we think that it's just going to go away. It doesn't just go away. It's going to get worse. But if you get ahead of the game, they can treat all of that and you'll be fine, right? But if you sit there and you linger on, you keep putting quick weaves and wigs and all that and say, oh, I got traction alopecia. A lot of you don't have just traction alopecia. A lot of you don't have alopecia. A lot of you have medical issues that you have not addressed yet. And that to me is a bigger issue that goes beyond hair care. Don, you got anything to say on it? Because I'm getting hyped.
As a licensed cosmetologist, we come in contact with the scalp first, right? Because
Right.
the client is not on top of her head, right? She can't see what's going on top of her head. So the person that's actually providing the services for her is examining her scalp. Like each before I do a client, I give a scalp analysis, right?
Right.
If the client has never been to me before, we got a consultation and a scalp analysis. Because while you're doing the scalp analysis, it gives you an idea of actually what's going on with the client's hair. Okay?
Right.
What's going on with the client's scalp? Should the client continue with this install? Should this client not get this install? But a lot of times we don't have the experience to offer something else to the consumer. I only know how to do quick weaves. So I'm not going to talk her into something else because I don't know how to do it. So we continue to do this particular hairstyle knowing that it's causing damage to her hair, because each time she comes in and take it out, she's losing hair. You know she's losing hair. So by the time the lady realizes she's completely bald, she's asking you like, well, what can I do with my hair? You know, I'm experiencing so much hair loss now. And then you say, well, what's going on with you? Because you don't want to tell her it's you making her hair come out, right? You constantly giving her this particular install, right? And because you do have clients that be like, look, Dawn, because I have that. Look, Dawn, I'm not going to wear my own hair. I'm going to wear installs.
Yeah.
And you say to yourself, okay, no problem. If you're going to wear installs, this is what I recommend. Okay.
Right.
Number one, you have to get treatments. Okay. You're going to have to be able to leave your hair out during the summer. Can you wear your own hair during the summer and come in and get treatments and like really build the moisture level up in your hair, because you've been wearing installs for 10 months, right? And we are unable to manage your moisture in your hair. This is why you have breakage. This is why you have shedding. And oil is not moisture. Oil is just that. Oil. It's a lubricant.
Right.
Remember back in the day, it was like, oh girl, all you need is a hot oil treatment. It's the biggest hoopla you could ever know. We've never needed oil.
Dawn.
We've never needed,
We used to be so greasy. You be laying in the bed, it's all over the pillow, you shiny
everywhere. Oil is not for the hair. Oil is a lubricant. And when you put oil, just like baby oil, when you put it on the skin, it sits on the skin. It doesn't absorb into the body. Moisture absorbs into the body. That's why they tell you need a steam bath so you can open up your pores. You need to go in cold water so you can shut down the cuticle. So we have all these different processes that helps us. You know, it's the science behind the beauty, which allows us to educate the consumer and help them preserve their beauty. Your job as a professional is to help the consumer preserve their beauty. You are not supposed to be doing things that are going to destroy their beauty. You know, where are your ethics? Where's your oath as a cosmetologist? That's why you see a lot of mishaps or state of emergency or state of crisis in the
Right.
culture, because there are so many unlicensed beauty professionals that are out there just destroying people's hair, and the consumer doesn't know. You know, look, I'm a braider. I don't care about all that other stuff. I don't found me these Africans over here that's gonna braid my hair, and I'm gonna sit and allow them to put this dung. You know, dung?
Yeah.
What dung is? That's cow shit. They put that in your hair, talk about it's gonna fertilize it and make it grow. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why would you sit there and listen to this absurd, you know, like conversation of it, you know, and it really is, it's what they say, functional illiteracy. And a lot of times
Oh,
people who tend to do hair, they be like, well, you know, they focus on the artistry part, but when it comes to the science and having to read and understand the anatomy and what is a molecule and how big the molecule is from the amino acid and all that kind of stuff, they be like, huh, what are you talking about? But if you don't know those simple things, that's why you go in and select oil and put it on the client's hair. That's why you go in and put peroxide 40 volume, because you don't understand the science. 40 volume should never be on the scalp. So when you don't understand the science behind the beauty, you end up with all this catastrophe that we now have within the culture.
yeah, you better say that, honey. You better say that thing right there. Now, something that you pointed out, and when you talked about the hairstylist, and I have heard so many names. What is it? Hair design for 22 years. You ain't go get your license.
Right.
I have been a hair what not a hairstylist, a hair loctician. I
Right.
have been y'all got all kind of names, and I be like the other day when I posted on here about the young lady who was a manicurist, but she telling you how to do how to bleach your hair platinum and then go in with a relaxer, Hawaiian silk, and it's a train going with it. It's a train, and I just see the wreck just happening. I just see it. I'm like, and every single one of y'all that's doing that, I got to talk about it, because I just, it has no kind of rhyme or reason. The hair has to be that short, because you could not do that on longer hair, and the hair has to be short because a lot of the hair has broken off, and then y'all go and y'all do the finger waves. It is so annoying, and the hair won't even move with the wave because the hair is so over processed. I don't know why I had to go on that, but yeah, Dawn, that's a very big issue. And I'm gonna say something too to that, because you say the clients don't know. I beg to differ, because you know why? You ever see where the client, now they coming in, I've been going to her for 20 years. Now she putting the net on your hair. Now she got the soda weave on the net.
Right.
You didn't see that. So you can't put all the blame for me. I always say, okay, you know that saying, they say, fool me once, shame on you. I mean, shame on you. Yeah. Fool me twice, shame on me. So it's like, no. Every time you go there, you losing hair, and you don't care, because you just, this style. Everybody love me with this hairstyle. That bob is me. But the way she's doing it is causing you to lose your hair, and you don't care. And the other thing is, a lot of women, I am learning this, have a lot of underlining issues already. A lot of you have not necessarily medical issues. A lot of you may have skin issues. You've always had it, but you still will go in and say, I need a hairstyle that's going to last me at least 2 months. You still will do it. And that is where the issue comes at. That's a problem. Oh Lord. Child. Jay told my son, fool me 3 times. Good night. Oh, Don. Hey, Jay, like when you say good, say it, Don.
Good night.
No, you say good night. Yes, child. So I done stole that from you just to let you know. So we're gonna go back in and I want to show you. I think I did her. Now I'm gonna see. Let me see if it's this one. Hold on.
So I'm making this video for all the women out there who are experiencing like hair loss. I know that this video may not get any views, but I wanted to talk to you guys about what I've been experiencing and the pain that I've been going through. So I had noticed back in October that like my hair was falling out. And I didn't think too much of it because I'm like, maybe I'm just like going crazy or something and maybe it's not what I think it is. But then I started to notice like the more I was doing my hair, the more my hair just kept coming out and falling out. And around this time, I was going through a lot of like stress. I was very stressed out from a relationship that I was in. I was stressed out from the children, my kids. I was just under a lot of stress. I noticed that I just started to bald in the middle of my hair. Now, I didn't really pay too much attention to it because I'm like, okay, maybe it's just my hair is falling out or something. Then it just started to get worse. I was in so much pain for months. I was in pain. My scalp would itch so bad. I shaved it multiple times. It grew right back. And now I'm in a space of I like have these random like flare-ups where my scalp gets so inflamed to the point where I cannot deal with it. So I ended up going to the dermatology. Mind you, I went to 3 different dermatologists. They all told me it was wingworms, it was dermatitis, and it was also eczema. Not only that, I was experiencing these red rashes all over my skin. I kept having like dark patches that kept popping up like randomly. And I just kept getting the same answer, like, oh, it's hives, oh, it's this, oh, it's that. So I was like, you know what? I need to dig a little bit deeper to see what it is because I don't believe that it is what these dermatologists was telling me. I don't believe that this is what it was. So I decided to look up like an all be okay dermatology office. And I was like, you know what? I had to come out of pocket to pay for everything. My insurance didn't cover it, but it was worth it. I ended up getting my diagnostic, I'm sorry if I said that wrong. And basically it was CCA. I'm going to leave it across the screen so you guys can go look it up, do a little bit more research. So right now I'm in a process of washing my hair because I'm having like an extremely bad flare up. But I just wanted to say, if there is anybody out there going through this, just know that you are not alone, that there are other people that are going through this same experience. And it's very, very hard. But I wanted to take you guys along this journey so you guys can come with me and maybe I can help somebody else out. I've been dealing with short hair loss, all types of things, which I will talk about in another video. But y'all, this is just hard for me because it's affecting me mentally. Just seeing my hair falling out has really it took a toll on me. It's messing with how I view myself and how I feel about myself. But I just hope that this video helps other people out. Also, just to throw in there, go get your labs done. Don't let nobody tell you that you don't need blood work. Get your labs done. I was very deficient in vitamin D. Once I started to take my vitamin D pills, I noticed that my hair stopped. It wasn't shedding as much. But y'all, don't let these people make you feel like you're crazy, because you're not.
Yes. So I think another good thing to hold on. Take him off. Another good thing to point out is that she got diagnosed with CCCA. So she didn't talk about probably the hairstyles. That's one thing I wanted to hear, like the different hairstyles. I got one more video that I want to show, and I really love the way she breaks down things. But the whole premises of this video, the reason for it and everything, ladies, is, of course, we need to do the same investment that we do in our wigs and our weaves. Y'all know. And this is the thing. It's not that we're trying to take that away. What we're saying to you is that it's like, you know how they say, like people be like, work smarter, not harder. it's the same concept. Like, work smarter towards your hair. This is part of you investigating your hair. You know how you get the Brazilian hair and you want to know, okay, I can't put mousse in it because the alcohol is too high, and it's gonna start making my hair shed, and then my curl pattern on the my Brazilian hair, my Malaysian hair, whatever. You be in all that. Oh, put the oil on it, but if you put too much oil on it, you got to put that on when it's older. You know everything about that. But if I say to you, when was the last time have you ever had blood work on your hair? You couldn't tell me that. We don't practice going to see a dermatologist. Hell, a lot of us don't even practice going to the doctor. Now, I'm telling y'all, I'm guilty of it. The only thing that I will push to really go, I don't really play with that, is my breast checking to make sure, what is it, mammogram. I don't play with that because I know that that's in my family, so I don't really play with that. But we play a lot when it comes to our beauty. We are some of the most beautiful women in the world. Some of the most beautiful, all colors, shapes, and sizes. And I always tell you, everybody want to be you, but we don't want to be us, because we were, from young, we're told that we weren't enough. We didn't look good enough. Your lips was too big, your nose was too wide, your skin too dark, you're bald headed, you're nappy headed. We were told those things either by our parents, our siblings, relatives, whoever, friends, the schoolyard, and we carried that trauma and we right into it as we become adults, and we just want to cover it up. Oh, I see the white spot, cover it up. You know what? I'm just going to, put these wigs on, cover it up. I don't want to address the elephant in the room. But you have to take that wig off, or you have to take that weave out, and that issue is still there. And guess what? It's getting worse. If you listen to that young lady, she was telling you how she is emotionally affected by that. How many of you that are watching this video or that have been on social media and see young ladies that are brave enough to go on and talk about and be very vulnerable and talk about the issues that they have, and you can identify with it, but you still don't go? I had a young lady the other day said to me, I don't have any dandruff, I don't have any of that, but my scalp is sore when I touch it. So we know that's inflammation. But I said to her, it is your job, just like you do everything else, it is your job to find out why is that happening. It could be thyroids, it could be a number of things. So I think one of the things that I wanted to really point out to everyone is that I always talk about bad practices, unlicensed cosmetologists. We already know the whole spiel, but I realize that it is a plethora of things that we are experiencing: hair loss, scalp disorders, different things that's going on, and we have to do the work. Okay, Don, you have anything to say before I go to the next one?
A lot of our challenges come from the products that we use.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
The products that we use, the length of time that we have those styles in our hair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A lot of our issues come from an uncleansed scalp. An unhealthy scalp is an unhealthy human. So a lot of times our issues stem from an unhealthy scalp because we're leaving those styles in too long. We're using products that you're having an allergic reaction to a product, and we continue the service. How many times have we had a beauty service done? Okay. We've had a reaction to it, and we continued on with the process.
What they say? What's the saying, Don?
Mm?
Beauty is pain, or something like that.
Yeah. But we're destroying our beauty with just simple aesthetics, like simple aesthetics. We aren't undergoing, we aren't doing surgery. We're using simple aesthetics out of the store. It's our ignorance that is causing the damage to the consumer. The person is not licensed. They have no ethics. They're not going to tell you they can't do a particular hairstyle because as the client, as a customer, you're asking, I need this money. I need this money. Some people they're so hungry out there. They're stealing your deposit and they're not even doing the service
Child, people
correctly.
losing their lives about deposits.
Right. Behind service. That's how crazy the industry is now when it comes to providing services to the public. They are so trifling. You don't even know who you're dealing with. So I understand from a consumer's perspective because they've been bombarded with so much false information. It's hard to like really even, I don't even know if a real stylist exists. You know what I'm saying? And if that stylist,
wow, that's
I don't, they're like, because people are amazed, I still take clients. It's based on a referral basis. After 34 years in the industry, I am getting referrals still, right? But we won't take responsibility. Most of my work is repair work.
Right.
I have to repair the damage that's been done either by them or, someone else. But, we came out with a head full of hair. And where did it all go? You weren't born bald headed. Most African American children were running around with a head full of hair.
Yep.
A head full of hair. But we decided to go, anything that said I look beautiful or anything that got some praise, any style that got some praise in the culture, in the community, we went running for it. And it was destroying our hair. And most trends come from the hood. And when it comes from the hood, it's like Sasha.
We're gonna make it do what it do now.
It's magic, but unfortunately, when you go in and you break down the fabric of what's actually happening, you're destroying your hair. You're destroying your hair. You're destroying your beauty. That's why you look so old. You look so ran down. From nobody's wearing shapewear. Nobody's taking any pride in how they look. They just grab a wig and put it on, and it's like it's like instant glam. And you're not glamorous because you can still see the pain because the aesthetics is so horrible. It's like I had to like stop criticizing in my head people because I'd be like, oh my God, why does her hair look like that? Oh my goodness. And it's like you'll end up fixing everyone's hair and makeup for free. But so you have to say, oh my goodness, like this, and it's us. No one else is putting this stuff in their head. Like, no, if a Caucasian or Indian or whatever is losing their hair, they're going to get a natural looking unit, right? They're not putting bonding glue. They're not doing banana peels. They're not doing the hard, even when they do a French roll, like none of the styles are to the extent of what we do. And it's like, well, they're not Black. No, it's not that. You're operating in a sense of ignorance.
Yeah.
And no one really wants to respect the science of the stylist. You came to, I understand you want me to style your hair, but you don't want your hair off. You want the style, but you want to be able. You want your own hair, ma'am. You want your own hair. Like it's like I want some really really beautiful eyelashes, but to the extent of making you blind.
It's us. It is
Yeah,
us.
to the extent of making you blind. Do you know that bonding glue has formaldehyde in it and it should not come in contact with the eye ducts? But we still go and allow these people to put bonding glue on eyelashes to put them on. And you say to yourself, like, ma'am, and it's like when you say something to them, they're like, girl, what's your problem? I'm like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? So you have to walk around and you just have these like blindfolds on
Lace.
because
I have
you'll just be like, "Girl, I think I'm gonna
lace
have
front. I have
I'm
constant.
gonna get a T-shirt and says stop destroying your beauty."
That's a good one. That's a
Yeah,
good one. And you ever seen people? I know people. I'm like, you, you got a line of lace fronts. So when you wear your hair, and then when you see their hair, they got nice hair. I'm like, oh, you got nice long hair, right? It's thin in the front. It's always gonna be receding in the front, but
because of the styles.
because of the styles. But
Because
you
of the
look and I'm
styles.
like,
If you
man,
know, each time you come back and your hairline is back here, each time you
mhm,
come get your braids done, you lose a finger.
that's right. That's right.
You lose, then the next time you lose 4 fingers. Now you have a whole hand. This is where your hairline starts. So at no time did you realize your hairline was receding? And once you realize that your hairline is receding, this is the technician now
Hmm.
because she's applying, she's doing the install. So once she realizes that, hey, this client is her hair is coming out, and they tell you that that's called traction alopecia,
Hmm.
continued stress in that particular parting on the scalp. That's why you are experiencing hair loss. All that tension that they anchor at the hairline area, all that tension that they apply on the hairline area and pull it back. It's too much tension. So it just steadily just pops and pops and
And
pops
they
and
and
pops
listen,
and
it's
pops.
not just the tension. If you're if like that young lady, and this is another thing I wanted to point out. Did you see how young that young lady was? She was young. She wasn't, in her 40s or 50s. That was a young girl. And it's not just that. She said she was vitamin D deficient, right? There are women that are have bad anemia, extreme anemic people, and guess what? They will continue and their hair break off. It's so imagine doing that practice and then your diet is bad. All you do is eat fast food. I know grown women who just don't believe in cooking ever. I was like, man, you just eat. I can't eat fast food. I don't even care if it's from a restaurant. I can't eat like that every day. I gotta get up and I gotta cook something, especially in the morning time. That's like one of the most important things. So imagine, let's combine all of that. You have bad diet, maybe low iron, uh, low vitamin D, what else? All of those different things. And then you're going to go ahead and put that on top of your head. A lot of you have high blood pressure, very young age. I seen a little girl that was 23 that the doctor told her, stop. Your blood pressure is too high. 23. Skinny, small. That's another thing. We feel like if we small, then we can just eat and do whatever. You can't do that. You have to do things in moderation. I'm not saying, you know what I mean? You have to do it in moderation. So, Don, you are absolutely correct. And then the products that they're using with it is also, like you said, the plastic, the fiber. So you're putting that braid in your hair, and then on top of it, so nothing good coming out and nothing good going in. It's a what you say, a catastrophe that is
Yeah.
eventually going to happen. And I don't want you guys to think like we just, we do this podcast and we just like, let's just bash. No, it is, we need to have awareness. And I'm going to show one more video, Don. One more video. You have anything else to say before I get to it?
Nope.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm a neuroscientist, and here's the one thing that I wish every single woman knew about their hair. Your hair follicle is probably one of the most metabolically active structures in your entire body. And what that means is that it's exquisitely sensitive to what is happening systemically. So that means hormonally, nutritionally, neurologically. When something shifts internally, your hair is oftentimes the very first place that is going to show up externally. And so usually things that we see when it comes to our beauty, it's not really a beauty problem. It really is potentially a biological signal. So when we think of excess shedding, especially maybe 2 to 4 months after a stressful event, think postpartum or a hormonal shift, think perimenopause, etc. Texture changes even, hair that used to behave one way and suddenly doesn't, scalp sensitivity or inflammation that wasn't there before, thinning even, that's rather, diffuse, that's not exactly localized. These aren't exactly random, and they oftentimes happen to have some sort of mechanism attached to them. And so here's the thing that nobody truly typically connects. It's this sort of timing gap, right? Most women don't connect their hair shedding to a stressful event, like I said, or any sort of hormonal shift that caused it, because, like I said, there is that delay, and between that internal trigger and how it's now showing up in terms of visible shedding. And so we tend to blame things like, potentially a product that we've tried recently, or a diet change even, something recent, when in fact some of the changes that you might be seeing happened months earlier, right? They're the experience of like something that happened earlier. And I had my own experience with that. I will probably share that story very, very soon. But this is exactly why I wanted to build Fleuret. It's this idea that I wanted to build a hair wellness company that helped to educate women on what they're seeing with their hair and how that ties into their internal framework. So not just building another company to share more products, but to give women that framework to help them understand what their bodies are potentially communicating. So because, when you understand that mechanism, you stop chasing symptoms, you stop chasing maybe the next product, and you start addressing the root cause. If you happen to have some amazing products like our own to help you support that overall process, amazing. But it really is all about how the internal connects to the external. So if your hair has ever dramatically changed and nobody can tell you why, drop it below. I definitely read every single story, and I read every single DM as well. So good to see you.
I like that. I like that she was pointing out, like, connecting the inward, like I was saying. And that's not just even, your diet, and not just even that. It's even mental. Sometimes I have seen where a woman has been in a relationship and the man was calling her fat, or she was a kid and she was the thick kid, and they, sit your fat self, you was fat. And it carries with you. So you looking in the mirror and you're like, oh my God, you could be a size 8 or a 6, and you're like, oh, I gotta lose weight. And guys hitting on you, everything, you like, I'm so fat, because you never like let that go. So other things are just the psychological part as well that we don't really talk about. Oh, hold on. Let's see. This is, who is this? Diverse One Gift 778. That is so good, because some are approaching 50 and we have had those stressful events, even after we have exercised, ate right, went to the doctor, etc. So when you say went to the doctor and you were, it is really, really important, because what doctor are we going to? Are we just going to our primary doctor? You know what I mean? Or are we going to a dermatologist? Because a lot of us just go to the doctor or whatnot. Now, if you go to the doctor and you say, hey, I'm noticing A, B, and C. And one of the things I tell people, ask for your blood work, because you can take that blood work to either your dermatologist, or your dermatologist can do it, or you can take it to a trichologist and they'll be able to read that and they'll be able to put 2 and 2 together and create a treatment that you may need, whether that is follicular therapy or minoxidil therapy. They have so many different things, but they will go ahead and customize it for you. Because I always tell people, remember, your DNA is different. My DNA from Dawn, it's two different DNAs. So what
Absolutely.
you may be experiencing, and you can have the same thing. I can have CCA, Dawn can have CCA, but that young lady, she said her scalp was hurting. That seemed like a severe case. I was like, dang, the scalp hurting, and she was breaking out. So that, to me, I was like, well, why was she breaking out? You know what I mean? Was she wearing a weave? And you made the point about they'll put things on and they know they'll break out and they're allergic to it, but you still keep it in. You be like, I've seen it. I paid $300 for this.
Right.
I paid $300, so I'm gonna just wear it up in a bun.
Yeah.
The bun, that you see the inflammation. I've seen it where they be in the back of their ears and it's going white and everything, but they be like, I spent too much money for this. So
Yeah.
we don't value. That's what you were saying, Dawn. We don't value ourselves enough to invest in ourselves to say, hey, I'm noticing these blotches and these things going on. Let me see what's going on with that. Right? One day we were talking about, they get into some money, honey, you go get your BBL done, you go get that stomach done, do the work, Nobody throwing shade at that. But I thought about it, I was like, well, dang, nobody think to say, let me go check out my skin. It's something that's been going on with me behind closed doors that nobody don't know about, right? My scalp, maybe I have pus coming out of my scalp.
Right.
Instead, we go read Google and say, okay, I got Tenea. I have wingworms. And it could have been something, had nothing to do with that. But we will guess that. We won't invest in something like that can stop you from, even if you're not losing the hair, the fact that you're having some type of scalp issue and you don't go and look into that, and you don't think is just as important as to get your teeth done or to get your eyes checked, or just simple things that we don't think about. That is because we don't value ourselves. And I know it can be financial, but I've seen, especially when what is it, the beginning of the year, income tax time, everybody invested in cars, they invested in outfits, jewelry, concerts, and whatever you're going to do, you're covering up the issue. So then now you're like these young ladies that are coming on here that I'm showing you, they're not 50 years old and they're having the issues. There are kids as young as 2 and 3 that are experiencing hair loss because we have parents, like Dawn said, that are ignorant and they think it's cute to put a lace front on an 8-year-old's head. We got parents that are living through their children and they think that's cute. But they don't understand that when you put a lace front on an 8-year-old head, guess what she says? I don't ever want to wear my hair. I want this lace front. It's first day of school, all I saw was lace fronts. I'm talking about elementary school on up. I said, man.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
That's really, really bad. And we have a lot of work to do, Dawn, as beauty pioneers. I like talk about fashion. I like everything else, but we got to get to the source of things. We have to get to the bone. I'm one of them people. I want to know the why.
It's the imaging. It's the imaging. It's the imaging. It's what they value as beautiful. It's what the culture admires. So they get more praise with the young lady with the lace front.
Mm-hmm.
It's everywhere. That it's embedded in us at an early age as that's beautiful. That's beautiful for me to have a lace front on. It makes me feel beautiful. So
Right.
this is what they identify as beautiful. They don't identify what they see in the mirror when they take the wig off, and it's me, no makeup, no eyebrows, they don't like that person. So they would go in with all these beauty antics, and they just layer and layer and layer until they create an image that they see, that they deem beautiful, you know because you walk around and you say, well, why would you have on those lashes that are so long? They're like, literally, you can't put your glasses on because they're like sitting on top of on top of the rim here. So, but no one says anything, because that's just the freedom of her to wear her eyelashes the length that she chooses. But it is an absurd beauty cry. It's saying, look at me, I am beautiful. The more crazy the beauty aesthetic is, the
Mhm.
deeper the pain.
More hair and less clothes.
Yeah, it's what they see value. It's what they
Mhm.
deem beautiful. If I have this hair all the way down to my knee, in the eighth grade, it makes me feel beautiful. Like, and the mom doesn't think anything is wrong with that because she's on the same mindset as the child.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you culturally, you have to see what a breakdown is,
Mhm.
the parents, the children are leading the children,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
the children are beating up the parents. The kids are taking the grandparents' money, so
There's definitely no respect. Me personally, I've seen somebody let their kids call a granddaddy by their first name. I said, what the?
yeah, no respect.
No, and it's not, and believe it or not, it's not just in the younger parents, and it's not just the younger kids too. It's older people I see like that. You ever seen
Yeah,
somebody and they in their 50s and 60s and have no wisdom?
yeah.
You ever seen
That's what
that?
I'm saying. Functional illiterate.
You be like, you've been here
Mhm.
this long and you have nothing to offer. That
Yeah,
is a scary place. I think a lot of people think that they're here on this purpose, on this world, to, I don't know, to just look good, smell good, feeling good. But we all
yeah,
we all got a purpose. We all have a purpose. I always say there's millions of people in the graveyard that had a dream, that had purpose, but they never came and fulfilled that. And we're in a world and in a society today that has no, to me, sometimes no soul,
yeah.
no character,
No
no
empathy,
no empathy, no
no
integrity
integrity.
for their own people,
Yeah,
for their own.
absolutely. Hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep doing what we need. We just gonna keep doing what we do, John, and hopefully our beautiful sisters get it. Like I said, I saw this one young lady. She had like these pretty lips. Now you know how I am about lips, and I wish I had me some thick lips. This girl had some bad lips. She ain't even need. You know how they put the browning on the outer part, and they got to put the. She ain't have to do none of that. But guess what? She said, "I'm gonna get that tattoo." I said, huh? And then she had them fill her lips more. What?
Wow.
Masterpiece. Body T. Masterpiece. Can't see it.
Mm.
Can't see it. And then when we know the reason why, so a lot of us need to go sit on somebody's couch. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
a lot of us need therapy. I really understand that, because and I'm putting myself in that too. Sometimes I struggle. Now I'm not gonna go do no crazy stuff because I'm just not doing it. Now I'm just like I just got to work through it. That's me. I'm like, I want some big lips, but I ain't going to put no. I'm not pumping nothing in my lips. I'm not doing it. No foreign. I no shade to nobody. I'll work it out mentally. Be grateful for what you got. And I just think that a lot of us may realize issues that we have, and we live through trauma. A lot of us cannot have good relationships, whether it's with your children, whether it's with a man, whether it's on the job. A lot of us cannot even have that because we live through trauma. And we are fixated on hiding our real selves and putting on these masks and these costumes with these lace front wigs and all this stuff. We are so fixated and focused on covering ourselves so nobody can see us that we miss the whole point of being here. And
Right.
so that is very important to me, as a Black woman, right? And seeing, not all of us, but we got some bad sisters that have class, and and that love their natural hair and love their natural body, curvy, skinny, whatever. So we have that too, but for the broken ones, that's who I want to see. I want them to know how beautiful they are, because I know I went into the beauty world because I wanted to prove I was attractive. So I know what that's like, but you don't have to be that way. We don't have to be that way. We have to educate ourselves. We have to learn about our hair. We have to learn about our scalp, our skin. Our scalp is our skin. We have to learn about these things, and then we have to apply it. And if we have issues where we don't want to take wigs off because they called you bald headed in school or whatever, then you got to go lay on somebody's couch till you can get to a place where you can enjoy your hair. Otherwise, you're going to continue to destroy it. Healthy scalp, healthy hair. Your hair breaking off and everything, something going on with the blood, something going on with the scalp. You have any more words before we close out, Dawn?
Stop destroying your beauty.
I'm
That's
really cute
that's
today.
that's my
What is
slogan
it?
till I die. Stop
Till you die.
destroying your beauty.
Oof.
Your beauty is worth preserving. That's
What does
it.
that
That's
look
gonna be
like?
me.
What
Mhm.
does that look like when you say stop destroying your beauty? What does that look like to you?
Stop making decisions that
Mhm.
destroy your beauty. You
Mm,
know when you put your lashes on that you're having an allergic reaction because your eyes are red. When you
mm.
put lashes on, you're having an allergic reaction. When that young lady is putting braids in your hair and it's too tight and your scalp is itching, you have to say stop. You have to say no. Oil is not something that goes on the scalp.
Mm-mm.
Seek a professional that has done the work and go more beyond the aesthetics of the hairstyle. If the hairstyle is not going to preserve your beauty, you don't need it. And that's the problem. That's the problem.
So when that's
Uh,
good with the point you're making, let me break it, because sometimes people like preserve. So if you get a hairstyle, like I noticed something. I don't see a lot of women. You know how they take that hair, they want it bone straight. We fixated on that too. I mean, bone straight hair. So they'll
mhm.
take the dryer. They'll say I'm natural, but really they destroying the natural hair because they'll take that dryer and they just put that heat right on it so it can smooth on out. And they got them pretty ponytails and it's braid. I said, baby, when you take that out, it's pretty and it's shiny and it look like glass. But when you take that out, because our hair wasn't meant to be like that bone straight like that. Like we fixated on that too, Our hair wasn't like meant for that as well. Um, and so what she's saying is that compromise. When you want to put a color and a relaxer, compromising the integrity of your hair. Um, when you already see you have breakage, or you already have when you touch your scalp is pain, and you still go and put something on top of it, braid it down or whatever the case may be, you're compromising your hair. That's what she's saying, risking it all, making short-term decisions that is going to affect you in the long run. I'm telling you, like that young lady, she is really, really hurting inside because she don't feel beautiful. And she's actually very attractive. But because she has done so many of those bad practices that so many of us are doing now, it's catching up, and it's catching up earlier than before. That's why I did a video on Dominican salons, and I said what I said. I mean it, because they like, oh, the Dominicans, they they got black. The Dominicans they are black. They have some Indian. You see Cardi B hair, and Cardi B is not putting no heat on her hair like that constantly. But we will run down there, anything not to look like us. We will run down there. And then you see when that's the story I wanted to say. My sister, she had long hair, my sister Maddie, and she got older, right? I used to do their hair. So I was like, y'all need to go to the salon and get your hair done. That she found a Dominican place, her and my mama. So they going down there. Dawn, I promise you, it wasn't even 2 months. I could see if she had a white shirt on, it was thick too. I could see straight through her hair. I could see her
Of course.
neck. It just stand out, because I say the process is too much heat that we can't do that.
Yeah,
we can't. And so
we don't.
Go ahead, Don.
We don't understand. We all have our own identity. This is why they could take a strand of hair and they just test it for your DNA. My and Lithra and 10 other women put together, you have 10 different human beings. We're very different. And so is our hair. So you can't couple your hair in a box, right? Your hair is curly as an African American. It's curly, coily. It's not straight. So you have to add a temporary straightener to your hair if you want that particular, hairstyle. So that's why we go in for a blowout, because we want our hair, straight and blown out. But we have to understand that process is going to eventually destroy our hair, because it's not operating in its natural state. It's being altered. It's being chemically altered or temporarily altered from its natural state to hold a particular style, which is not its own. Okay? So just think of about that for a second. You're taking your hair out of its original origin, right? For a particular aesthetic. And then you want to freeze it. You're going to take a picture and you're going to freeze it so it can stay that way. You understand what I'm saying? Which is not realistic. That's why you need to go and sit on someone's couch, because what you are asking for is not logical. It's not logical. Your hair is curly. You must find a style that will support your curly hair. Well, I don't like my curly hair. You're saying I don't like myself. That's what you're saying. You're taking on the perspective and the image of what the world is portraying, saying that you're not beautiful. Because if you accepted your hair as it is, or accept yourself as you are, you would make choices that will support the overall beauty of you, the overall restoration, the overall preservation. You wouldn't make decisions that will alter your natural state. So you have to think of that when you ask for a particular hairstyle. That's why they said stylist or cosmetologist, a psychologist, because we have to go inside the mind of the client to find out exactly what's going on here. Ma'am,
I'm sorry. I just wanted to say too, I know some of you are on here that may have already it done gone. You think it's gone too far, and you probably never went and had that checked out. Like you may have lost your edges, the crown of your head, or you might be going through maybe menopause and you're dealing with different types of hair loss or whatever. Go and still get it checked out and see, because some of you and try to find a holistic trichologist, right? Some of you just never did it. So you just let time go by, and that's okay, but still find out what you can do. And then what are the alternatives? And can that hair be restored? Don't just give up and say, well, they're not talking to me. She talking about the other people. No, we're talking to you too, because 9 times out of 10, you have a niece, you have a daughter, you have a son, you have somebody that's watching you, and they need to see how you take care of yourself and love yourself as well. And I'm telling y'all, just as much as y'all paying for them wigs, that's how much those appointments may cost. So for y'all, it's like, oh, I ain't got no money for no dermatologist, but you got money to go down there and get you a what the thing is they doing now? The seafood bowl. You add up them seafood bowls. That's the new thing they got going on, the seafood bowl.
Like my pastor said, my pastor would say, a man spends his time and his money on what he loves.
That's right. That is absolutely right. You can
Yeah.
dissect it, make an excuse for it, whatever. And guess what? Biblically, it says, where a man's treasure is, that's where his heart is.
That's right.
So you can play with it any kind of way. So whatever you love, whatever you value, if you value food, you will go down there to that meat market and buy all kind of food. Spend $200, $300, $400. Sam's and all that, you spend all that. But then turn around and say, oh, honey, I went right down at the corner store and got me a $20 wig. And got all kind of issues going on. So I pray that this video has blessed you guys, and we thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you like and share the video. We will be back next week, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Beauty Pioneers. Dawn, you have any last words before I say my smooches?
Preserve your beauty. Your beauty is worth protecting.
Yes. We love you. Thank you.
Good night.
See you next week. Smooches.